I don't spend hours in the gym, I don't do a ton of volume, and I don't do any BS trendy workouts. I'm in the gym on average for around 45 minutes, and I look better than when I used to train for hours. Now you're probably thinking, who am I and why should you listen to me? Well, I'm not claiming to be a master. I'm just a guy. I'm a guy who doesn't want to spend all day in the gym and who still wants to look good. I'm also a guy who wasted a lot of time in the gym. What the fitness industry doesn't want you to know is that most of these people's progress and most of their training is tailored around them because they're on gear. So if you're a natural lifter and you're trying to put on muscle, stay to the end of this video. You need to get away from social media because they're trying to sell something trendy and something that's different. Everybody's constantly trying to figure out the next best thing. That's why you always see these new diets or these new workout programs, which I have tried a lot of these myself and have not made a ton of progress. A lot of people burn themselves into the ground. They go to the gym, they pump up, they go as hard as they can, but they don't focus on progression. Let's just look at the facts. Like, what actually makes a muscle grow? Mechanical tension is one of the main drivers on how to make muscles grow. What mechanical tension pretty much is in a nutshell is your muscles aren't going to grow for no reason. They need to be under a ton of load of stress, especially if you're natural. Why would your muscle grow if you're not giving it a reason to grow? You have to keep pushing yourself. You have to keep upping the weight. The more you up the weight, the more your mind is going to tell your body, hey, we need more muscle. We need to build more strength so we can overcome this challenge. That's why progressive overload is as important as it is. You need to keep getting stronger. If you keep getting stronger, your body is going to have to adapt. That adaptation is muscle growth. Now, I don't really have a life, so I like to be in the gym as much as I possibly can. But if you're somebody who can only get to the gym, let's say 2 times a week, that's fine. You just need to pick your workouts strategically. Now, I'm going to put this as simply as I possibly can. All you have to do is pick the movements that you like for each muscle group and stick to them and keep doing them. And then over time, get stronger at them. Let's use barbell bench press as an example. If you like barbell bench and you feel it in your chest, that's perfect. Do barbell bench for your chest days and progressively get stronger at the barbell bench press every week. If you can, try to get another rep or try to add a little more weight. If you don't like the bench press, maybe it hurts your shoulders, that's fine. Find a nice machine press, find a dip or a dumbbell press. Anything that feels good for you and you can get a good contraction in your chest, perfect. Just focus on that and get stronger at it. That's all you have to do for every single muscle group. People online like to overcomplicate lifting because they want you to buy their program. They want you to hire them as a coach. It's not that complicated. Find movements that you like doing and get stronger at them over time. That is how natural lifters put on muscle. It just takes time, but the stronger you get at a movement, like bench press, if you're eventually able to bench press 315 pounds, you're probably not going to have a small chest. It's the same thing with squats, pull-ups, any movement you can name. If you can get that number as high as possible, your muscle will grow. If you have access to the internet, which you're watching this video, so I'm assuming you do, find the right exercises to exercise that muscle group and make sure that you learn how to properly do the movement. Good form is very important. It's not everything, but it's important. And then you doing that exercise over time with correct form, you keep consistently adding weight to that exercise and getting stronger, you will put on the muscle required to move that exercise. And guys, you do not need a ton of sets. If you're just starting out in the gym, 5 sets is plenty. 10 max a week. Yes, for the entire week. Just make sure you are pushing that set as far as you possibly can. You are taking that set and you are going until you can no longer push it. That is how you make muscle grow. That is giving your mind a reason to make muscle grow, a reason to adapt. All right, now that we talked about proper training and progressive overload, if you need help on your diet, let me know and that'll be next video.